All right, and last but not least, for lesson number one, we are going to be talking about word problems. Yay! I know everybody's favorite. Everybody loves word problems. No, but for to be entirely honest, word problems tend to be a weak point for a lot of people, just because math is already a bit of a foreign language. So translating it back and forth between English, especially if English isn't your first language, can be uniquely difficult. So what we're going to do today is I'm going to talk about some kind of keywords you can pick up and grab as we move forward, and how we can apply that to translating word problems into the math, and then translating the math back into English so we can answer these problems. The four main signs that we pick up when we're doing word problems that'll tell us what we're doing are plus, minus, multiply, and divide. The four main functions. And what you tend to find is that each one has a couple of keywords tied to it that get used in most word problems, just because there's only so many ways in the English language you can say, this plus that. Obviously, plus is a simple one, but also some, more, greater than, and together. Those are usually signals to you that you should be adding something. With minus, less, difference, fewer than, that happens a lot. One thing I want to pick up on real quick before we continue is the word than, THAN. So when you hear less than or fewer than something else, that means whatever the word after than is, you're subtracting from that. And I'm going to give you an example of that here in a second, but keep that in mind. Than is a very important word when it comes to subtraction. Multiplication, things like of, times, factor of, each, a piece, twice, triple, quadruple, words like that usually mean that you're multiplying. Whereas division, division's a bit of a tricky one, because sometimes you don't think that division really works with this, but it does. Per, so like 3 miles per hour, that's actually a fraction 3/1. 3 miles over 1 hour, miles per hour. It's a bit weird. We're not going to do too much of division here. We're going to save that for when we do some more science word problems later on. But just keep in mind that if you hear per, out of, ratio, or average, those are all going to be division words. So we're going to cut over to an example word problem that I already wrote up, and we're going to do that. So Meredith owes John $4 less than 10 times what Mary owes John. Mary owes John $7 more than Mike. Mike owes John $12. How much money is owed to John? So everybody knows good old John. He's just lending out money left and right. So let's start with everything we need. So we have Meredith. Actually, you know what? I'm going to write with a slightly smaller one today. So we have Meredith. We have Mary. We have Mike. So, don't know why I used so many M's. It's a bit weird. Okay, so anyway, so Mike owes John $12, pretty straightforward. Mary owes $7 more than Mike. So we have Mike plus 12, or I'm sorry, Mike plus 7, because she owes 7 more than Mike. You'll notice that because the word than is there, I went ahead and put Mike's number first. So whenever you see than, whatever comes after the than, you put that in front of the symbol. I know it's a weird trick, but it'll make sense here in a second. And then last but not, we have Meredith. So Meredith owes John $4 less than 10 times what Mary owes. So less than. So this 10 times what Mary owes, that is going to go first, and then we subtract 4. Because if we did 4 minus 10 times MA, that doesn't make sense. That doesn't actually work with what we're saying. So even though in the English language, the 4 and the minus are positioned like this, because not because of the 10, sorry. Because the than exists, you need to do it backwards. You need to do it the other way around. So 10 times what Mary owes is right there. So it's supposed to read from right to left. That's what the word than does to word problems like this. I know it's very unintuitive, It doesn't feel right because if you're used to reading English, you're used to reading it left to right. But when the word than pops up, than means you have to go the other way around. And we did it before with the adding. You'll notice I did it so that Mike went first, and then I added the 7. That's just because I'm in the habit of it. I've done a lot of word problems like this. I'm very used to this. But you kind of, that's a good habit to pick up, is when you see than in a word problem, less than, more than, go ahead and draw the arrow going the other way. So you know, okay, so whatever comes after goes first, then I do the other operation. I joke sometimes with some students who come in, they'll be like, oh, why is this English getting in the way in my math? Because, you know, most of the time people have a much easier time with English than math. Not when it comes to word problems, though. Word problems are a unique animal. But anyway, with that in mind, so now we've got our equations. We can start plugging stuff in. So we know that Mike owes 12. So we have 12 plus 7. That is $19. Dang, John's a good friend. He's lending out money left and right. So we know that so Mike owed 12 and Mary owes 19. So which means we can plug in. So we have 10 times 19 minus 4. That equals 190 minus 4, which is 186. So Meredith alone owes John $186. Dang, John, you are just loaning out money left and right. You got to be more careful, dude, especially in this economy. Anyway, so nah, John's a good friend. He's trying to help his friends out. So anyway, so we've got these 3 sets. So John is owed all of that money. So now we need to add all of those together, because John's amount is what Meredith owes him, it's what Mary owes him, and it's what Mike owes him. So we add these all together. So John is getting $186 back from Meredith. He's getting $19 back from Mary, and he's getting $12 back from Mike. So we can add these in any order you want. I'm going to go ahead and add the smaller numbers first. So 19 plus 12, that's going to be 31. So we got 186 plus 31. That's what John's getting. John is in for a payday. So he's getting, let's see, so it should be 217. So $217. Woo, boy, John, you are lending out some money to your friends there, John. But anyway, enough about John. Back over here. So that was just kind of one example I was going to walk you through. Now, these guys I will be leaving for you, and I will be leaving this for the synchronous hours. It should help you figure it out. These are a little bit confusing. They are a little bit different from the word problems we worked before, just because word problems come in so many shapes and sizes. I want you guys to see extra examples and have extra examples to work on of many different kinds. So I'll be saving this for the synchronous hours, but if you want to, feel free, go ahead, check them out in the meantime. And that is all for lesson 1. Thank you very much, and I will see you next time.